After a shaky start to the season, the Celtics have simply been one of the best teams in the NBA. They now have the second best record in the East. And in the Athletics' latest power rankings, the C's check in at number 4, behind only the Thunder, Pistons, and the Spurs. The Rockets right behind them there at number 5, as we welcome in our Celtics insider, Chris Forsberg, and our host of Celtics BGL. We have Kayla Burton. Forsberg, what is your reaction to the Celtics being named a top contender, not just in the East, but in all of the NBA, and the number 4 ranked team in the Athletics power rankings?
Yeah, still disrespected all the way down at 4. Like, what is going on? No, I'm like, obviously, it's neat to see that they're starting to get a little bit more of the national recognition. You know, I do think you could make the case that, you know, the Spurs obviously had some really good wins over OKC. They probably deserve to be up there. Detroit, they've dominated the Eastern Conference for most of the season, so they probably deserve to be up there. I might even slide the Rockets ahead of the Celtics just because of that head-to-head matchup earlier this year, though I'd love to see another crack at that. But for the Celtics to be sitting there at 4 is probably pretty fair. A good representation of how good they've been since the 0-3 start, and just like, this isn't a fluky thing. They're that good. And so there's still, like, I keep saying it, there's like still a whole nother level to go to, but nice that people are finally starting with one loud performance by Jaylen Brown in LA to kind of start taking notice of the Celtics, and it's on them to continue to make people keep an eye on them.
Yeah, Kayla, Chris kind of touched on it there, that big 50-point performance after Jaylen Brown was very vocal about not winning Player of the Month. Went out and showed everybody why he should. Is it that? What else is it? Why do you think all of a sudden everybody is taking notice that this Celtics team is doing something special without Jayson Tatum?
Because they're having other players around him, like an Anthony Simons. And by the way, Jaylen Brown, I stand by him on his argument to win the Eastern Conference Player of the Month. I know Jalen Brunson got that, and maybe that's the part because of the NBA Cup, and Jalen Brunson's been great. But with JB and the supporting cast, there's not a whole lot in terms of when you first looked at this team. And I am guilty. I will raise my hand saying, I thought that this team would probably float mid, 5th, 6th, in the East. But the fact that they're number 2 is a huge credit to Joe Mazzulla, the head coach. Chris always talks about it, pushing the right buttons. Brad Stevens obviously making sure the roster is the roster, and then the guys rising to the occasion. It's Jordan Walsh that's been totally surprising everyone, even with his up and down season a little bit. And then Anthony Simons, who, by the way, Trenni, starter in Portland for a few years, 4 to whatever years, and now he comes over here, has a different role, comes off the game, 27 points in the second half, 0 points scoreless. So it's just guys stepping up, rising to the occasion, and playing their role.
Chris, I know one of the reasons we felt like the Celtics had an opportunity to maybe be better than people like me expected is because the East, everyone said, look at the East, it's not going to be that great. But I am surprised teams like the Cavs, the Knicks, even the Magic, like those teams haven't quite, reached expectations. Could that change in the second half of the season?
Yeah, like, look, I think the Knicks are going to be there, right? Like, there's too much left over from last season, and even with the coaching change, there's too much talent there. And I do think, like, it would be super fun to see a rematch of Celtics-Knicks in the playoffs. But, again, I think that they'll be in the mix at the top of the conference. Cleveland's fascinating. It just really hasn't worked this year, and I can't tell you why, other than, like, Mobley hasn't exactly gone to another level, and there's only so much Donovan Mitchell can do, and they have had some injuries. I think we'll see, like, I go back to it. Like, I'm not sold that the East has made any progress. And we say this every year. We look at the rosters and we say, oh, it's going to be so much better. It is what it is. Like, I think the Celtics have proven they're right there with anybody, regardless of the strides that the Cavaliers make and, whether New York starts to figure it out. The big question to me is, like, can the Pistons really kind of hold on to that top spot, prove that they can take a step off of last year? Then it just comes down to, like, how it plays out. The seeding will be fascinating because of the fact that there is a good amount of parity here. And it's way too early to start thinking about that. But that's why it's all the more important that the Celtics try to stay up where they are.
Worth it, Kayla, for the Celtics to entertain trading to bolster this team?
No, initially I thought yes. I thought go get a big man, because when Nemish Queta, who by the way also had 13 and 13, he's been playing great as of late. But when he goes down, my heart stopped. Like, he went down not too long ago and then got back up, but my heart stopped because I go, oh no, they don't have the front court and this is an issue. So I think right now, because Luka Garza has been playing a little bit more minutes and finding his way, you got Hugo Gonzalez, who also has been playing pretty strong. I think it's worth, if it's out there, if it's available and it doesn't cost too much. Brad Stevens is a genius and mastermind. He'll go do what he needs to do. But it is worth investing in this team right now, because also I do expect Jayson Tatum to make an appearance sometime this season.
Forsberg, really quickly, would you like to see Matt, maybe a guy like Zubac?
So, like, Zubac is great. I think the Clippers have turned a corner. They might not end up being sellers that everyone. Remember, all these rumors are like 2 months old at this point. And I don't think the Celtics are going to spend a lot of first-round capital to add a guy unless they feel like he's someone that could really take them into the future. So I think Brad has to kick around all potential ideas, especially at that big man position. But I don't know. Looks pretty good. And we'll do the whole no one's going to add a player better than Jayson Tatum in February. I'll tell you that much.
That'll be the best trade act. Wait, did you just say in February?
That's what I think.
What? Huh?
Did you just throw out an actual date? The Celtics, whoa! Celtics host the Nuggets on Wednesday night. Our Celtics pregame live team is getting you ready. Starting at 6 o'clock, it's presented by TD Bank. You can catch the game at 7 right here on NBC Sports Boston or stream it on the NBC Sports app, NBCSportsBoston.com. Celtics live stream brought to you by your New England Cadillac dealers, official luxury vehicle of the Boston Celtics.